one of the most unlikely plays you'll ever see in a football game. A 28-yard Hail Mary from Davis Mills in the concluding game for the Texans and Colts in 2022 may have been the best thing that could have happened for two franchises, and maybe the worst possible outcome for another. You see, this play, which led the Texans to only their third victory of the season, helped secure the Bears the first overall pick, moving Texas back to the second. It also gave Indy a final loss in the season, which moved their pick up from 6 to 4. Looking at the 2023 draft, despite their lack of success in the win column, the Bears were very impressed with Justin Fields' sophomore performance and elected to ride with him in season 3, which helped facilitate a trade with the Panthers, who moved all the way up from 9 to take Alabama's Bryce Young. This trade also involved numerous picks, including the Panthers' 2024 first-round pick, which, following a terrible season in Charlottesville, became the first overall pick. Meanwhile, Houston stayed put at 2 and selected CJ Stroud out of Ohio State, who had one of the most successful rookie seasons ever, which was complemented by their trade from the 12th pick up to 3, where they selected Alabama's defensive end Will Anderson, who was a Pro Bowler as a rookie. With the 4th pick, the Colts also went QB and selected Anthony Richardson out of Florida, who showed promise in an injury-shortened debut campaign. Fast forward to 2024, Chicago, having been underwhelmed by his third-year performance, moved on from Fields and drafted Caleb Williams with what was the Panthers' first pick. In total, the Bears-Panthers trade yielded Carolina Bryce Young in exchange for Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, and a 2025 second-round pick, potentially setting Chicago up with a young, talented core for years to come. With one prayer of a throw, Mills may have set the Bears and Texans up for long-term success and potentially drown the Panthers in years of losing seasons. However, had Mills not converted one of the luckiest plays in football history, those teams, and others, would look drastically different today. Let's say that throw fell incomplete, or they didn't convert the 2-point conversion, or they didn't gain 30 yards on 4th and 12 that set up the touchdown, all in the last 90 seconds. Yeah, that entire drive was really that crazy. If any one of those plays had a different outcome, then the Colts win that game, and the draft would now look drastically different. It would have Houston at 1, Chicago at 2, Arizona at 3, Seattle at 4, Detroit at 5, and Indianapolis at 6. This would have wildly shaken up the landing spots of the quarterbacks. First off, while there was some debate as to who was the best quarterback in the 23 draft, most analysts saw Young as a superior prospect, so it's likely Houston would have taken him given the opportunity. As for a Panthers trade-up, the price to move up to 2 is too high for their second option in Stroud. Instead, they stay put at 9, and the Bears, still happy with Justin Fields, take the top edge and defensive player in the draft in Will Anderson. And with Anderson off the board, Houston doesn't trade up with Arizona. But the Raiders, who have been closely monitoring the movement of the quarterbacks, jump at the opportunity to move up to 3 and take Stroud. Furthermore, immediately after, Pete Carroll's Seahawks run the card up to take their new QB in Anthony Richardson, as they were reportedly going to take Richardson had he fallen to them. And so the Colts, disappointed with the remaining quarterback options, look to defense and settle for corner Devin Witherspoon at 6. Not that it matters, but there's a good chance the Lions wouldn't have been able to trade back like they really did to take Jamar Gibbs, and with the 5th pick, they may have drafted Bijan Robinson instead. Now, fast forward to the next year. Having not traded up for Bryce Young, the Panthers retained their 2024 first-round pick, which, as we know, was the first overall pick, in which they took USC's Caleb Williams. And with Chicago ready to move on from Fields, but too far away to trade in the first 3 picks to take a top quarterback, they were left taking J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. So, Bryce Young is a Texan, Stroud is playing Las Vegas, Anthony Richardson is a Seahawk, Caleb Williams was drafted by the Panthers, and J.J. McCarthy will be competing with Justin Fields for the Bears' starting spot, all because of one fluke touchdown between 2 of the worst teams that year. One day, we may look back in awe at how impactful this one play really was. Unless you think the Colts intentionally let it happen, but I'll save that conspiracy theory for another video. Do you think Davis Mills saved the Bears and Texans? Are the Panthers doomed for failure? Let me know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more NFL videos.